How They Met, Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's Royal Love Story. The palace lights shimmer. The cameras flash. The world expects a fairy tale. But what if I told you their love story did not begin with ceremony, nor with duty? What if the truth of how Princess Leonor and Prince Christian met is far more human, fragile, and unexpected? And what if that moment changed not only their hearts, but the very course of Europe's royal future? It begins not in a cathedral, not in a ballroom, but in the quiet corners of a shared royal gathering. Two heirs, both born into the weight of destiny, suddenly noticing each other not as titles, not as future monarchs, but simply as young souls looking for connection. Leonor, reserved yet radiant, carrying the discipline instilled by King Felipe and Queen Letizia. Christian, confident yet searching, shaped by Denmark's traditions but yearning for something real. Their first exchange was not rehearsed, not scripted, it was a spark that neither expected, but both instantly felt. Imagine the scene, a room filled with Europe's royals, laughter echoing, conversations carefully guarded. And yet, in the midst of protocol and expectation, their eyes met. A moment of stillness, a question unspoken, and from there, a series of encounters began that would quietly weave their story together. But how could two people so heavily watched, so carefully managed, find privacy in a world where every glance is judged? That is the tension that defined their early connection. At first, it was brief conversations. Short, careful, almost formal. Yet beneath each word lay curiosity. Christian admired Leonor's poise, her discipline, her ability to balance duty with quiet warmth. Leonor noticed Christian's humor, his ease in moments of formality, his willingness to see her as more than a crown. Each meeting deepened a silent bond. Each parting carried a question: when would they see each other again? And as months turned into years, their paths continued to cross. Sometimes in official gatherings, sometimes in educational exchanges, sometimes in whispered corners where the cameras could not reach. It was there, away from the gaze of the world, that they truly began to understand each other. Leonor spoke of her struggle to live up to the expectations of Spain's monarchy. Christian shared his doubts about identity, about the pressures of one day becoming Denmark's king. In those private moments, they became not just heirs, but confidants. But love between royals is never simple. Every word carried risk. Every glance sparked speculation. Families noticed. Advisors whispered. Questions emerged. Could Spain and Denmark truly accept such a bond? Would tradition permit it, or would history stand in their way? These doubts did not silence them. Instead, they fueled their determination to protect what they had found. Theirs was not a whirlwind romance but a steady, growing flame. A love tested by distance, by duty, by the constant scrutiny of the world. And yet, in each test, they discovered more strength. When Leonor entered military training, Christian's support was quiet but constant. When Christian faced the pressures of Danish expectation, Leonor's encouragement reminded him of his own worth. They became mirrors for each other, reflecting not just love, but resilience. Still, whispers grew. Rumors in the press. Speculation in royal circles. Every photograph of them together was analyzed, every silence between them exaggerated. And yet, their story remained theirs. Hidden in private letters, in secret meetings, in the rare moments where they could simply be two young people in love, not two heirs to thrones. Imagine now the wedding many already dream of. Spain's red and gold blending with Denmark's white and red. Two nations watching, two families uniting, two crowns forever intertwined. But the true story is not in the spectacle. It is in how they met. In that first glance, that unplanned moment, when two young royals realized they were more than their destiny. They were simply Leonor and Christian. And perhaps that is the greatest truth of all. Their love story is not just about crowns, palaces, or politics. It is about two hearts finding each other in a world that often denies them the chance. If history allows, if tradition bends, if families give their blessing, then this story will not just be remembered as a romance. It will be remembered as the love that reshaped the future of Europe's monarchy. If they met by chance, their bond was by choice. If they began as strangers, they grew into partners. And if today their story feels like a secret, tomorrow it may be the most celebrated chapter in royal history.